Can true faith survive? Can it withstand the most brutal of tests? If so, what does that look like? What would it take to destroy a person's faith? And is any of us strong enough to pass such a test? Welcome to the series, Can True Faith Survive?, where we will be asking and answering these vital questions through a study of the life of Job, one of the most remarkable men who ever lived. In today's episode, we will look at how Satan challenged Job's faith. Do you remember the opening scene of this drama? We find it in the book of Job, chapter 1, verses 6 to 7. One day the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came with them. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where do you come?" And Satan answered, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking up and down on it." There's a lot of debate as to what exactly was happening here. What was this gathering of the sons of God? Was Satan one of them? Or was he just an unwelcome guest? Was he a fallen angel who had once been one of them but was now excluded? Or was he even worse than that, an evil spirit who had never been anything other than an enemy of God? In the end, it doesn't really matter, because whatever the case, Satan was there and God allowed him to be there. He did not forbid Satan from entering into the heavenly court. Why? Well, perhaps to show that he had nothing to fear from Satan's accusations. Or perhaps he wanted to teach his people something very important about Satan and his work. Or maybe, just maybe, he wanted to allow Satan to accuse Job, because God himself had been looking at Job and had seen that he was a blameless and upright man who feared God and shunned evil. But God knew what was in the hearts of men, so he decided to have Satan sift Job and put his faith to the ultimate test. So he said to him, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a blameless and upright man who fears God and shuns evil?" Then Satan answered the Lord and said, "All that a man has, he will give for his life. What can God do? Now, he will not give his integrity." So God turned everything that Job had over to Satan. He gave Satan permission to take everything that Job had worked so hard for: his wealth, his possessions, his herds, his flocks, his servants, even his sons and daughters, all except his life. But still, he held back. He would not give Satan Job's integrity, or, in other words, his faith. Why? Because that was Job's alone. No one could take that from him, not even Satan. Only Job himself could choose to abandon his faith, and so it began. First, Satan took Job's wealth, his material possessions, the things that he valued most in life, but as the scripture tells us, he did not utter a word, nor did he turn away from his integrity, although he could have said to God, "Restore me and deliver me from my adversaries." But Job refused to do this. Instead, he chose to trust in God and to hold on to his faith, even when everything he owned was taken from him. Next, Satan went after Job's children, those innocent, precious children whom Job and his wife had brought up with love and care. They were his flesh and blood, the next generation of his family, his hope for the future. Yet in a moment, they were gone. Again, the scripture says that Job did not sin in his speech, nor did he charge God with iniquity. But again, he did not plead his case before God. He did not cry out for mercy or beg for his children to be returned. Instead, he trusted in God and clung to his faith. Beloved, this is the first great temptation that Job faced. Satan tried to destroy his faith by taking everything he had and then striking at his children. And yet Job stood firm. He might have lost everything, but he was still blessed with the greatest blessing of all: the peace that comes from knowing that you are right with God. Now, as we close, let me ask you this: what if Satan had stopped right here? Would Job's faith have survived? Would it have been strong enough to endure? What more could he possibly have endured? Beloved, much more. As we continue our study of the life of Job, we will see how Satan tempted Job relentlessly until he broke, and when he did, it was only then that Job truly discovered how strong his faith really was. Until next time, therefore, subscribe to this channel to receive a notification every time a new video is uploaded. Comment below with your thoughts and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. May God bless you as you do. Amen.